Can we play you every week, please, Wolves? Thank you very much. 4-1. Job done. United are 6th in the Premier League. I repeat, United are 6th in the Premier League. How in the world we are 6th in the Premier League is very reflective of a Premier League season, which is just, woof. That's what United kind of were in that game, I suppose. Majority on the up. You let them back in. They obviously scored their first goal since, 500 odd minutes. But United got the job done tonight. That's what Amorim needed in that second half, right? In that first half, I'll be totally honest, by the time they equalised, we could have and should have had 2, maybe 3 goals. We didn't kill the game. We let Wolves back in. We've seen United repeat that many times this season. But the second half, we started strong and Bouma got the goal. The Mount one was beautiful. It was a penalty for the 4th. 4-1. Could have been more. And I will repeat that again. United have taken advantage of an opportunity that has been presented to us. The 3rd week in a row where we've had it. We ballsed it up against Everton. We ballsed it up against West Ham. We did not balls it up against Wolves. And I'll tell you what, didn't even think about it during the game. 4-1. Actually helps our goal difference. Can we play you every week? Well, we'll play you again in 22 days' time? Good. That's what it needed to be. Is it a game which changes anything? Is it a game which shifts any sort? No. It is a game that was effectively a lose-lose for United. Win the game? Oh, well, you should be pumping Wolves. And by the way, you should be pumping Wolves. That is a bad team. They're going down, and they really could go down as the worst team in the Premier League ever, judging by how they're playing right now. But of course we let them score. It's almost funny, really. You can look at it and laugh now. For me, man of the match was Mason Mount. He was orchestrating. I'm not even just talking about the goal. The goal itself was lovely. Lovely ball from Bruno. Really smart run from Mount. Spotted. Great finish. How many games has he scored in now? He scored against Crystal Palace Selhurst Park. Feels like he's scored in a few games. Probably missing some as well. But I liked his balls from deep. Almost playing a little bit like Bruno at certain times. But actually passing the ball to Bruno. It was nice to see somebody else, apart from Bruno, making those sorts of line-breaking passes from 20, 30 yards outside of the opposition's box. Mount, for me, easily man of the match. And he's in the starting 11. He should be in the starting 11. Bruno, of course, again, a difference maker. Whether it's 2 assists against Crystal Palace, whether it's 2 goals. Did he get an assist as well? Oh, yeah, he did, to Mason Mount. 2 goals and an assist there against Wolves. It's just that we don't have the midfield setup that doesn't leave us exposed. And even Wolves exposed our midfield at times, let's be completely honest. It will never work fully with Bruno and Casemiro. But what does work is Bruno's impact going forward. And when United are playing well and United are winning games of football, invariably Bruno Fernandes is part of that and central to that. Exactly like he was there tonight. But while I can speak about Mount, man of the match, and Bruno, like Cunha had a game that I think a few people have been saying it to me. That Cunha's been like a little bit too much head down in terms of how he's playing. That very much felt like a head down performance from Cunha. I think he had 8 shots, at least 8 shots, maybe even more after that. Don't quite know. He wanted that goal. He almost felt desperate for the goal. Maybe more so for himself back at his old club rather than anything else. Man, he should have scored there tonight. He just should have scored. Cunha, I don't think has been particularly effective. I think he's looked a little bit rusty in these last couple of games since he's come back from that little injury, which was it a head clash he had during training? No one actually knows exactly what the injury was. But I would agree with people who say that he was too much of a head-down player there tonight. There were quite a few occasions where he could have got his head up, passed out to a teammate, but instead he was chasing that goal and a little bit. It's what happens in football. Like if you're trying to keep a clean sheet too hard, you'll probably concede. If you're trying to score too hard, you probably won't score. It has to come naturally in flow. Don't think he had too much in terms of his game. I'll be honest, I don't think Bouma did in the first half either. But United hit well on the counter. Delo, good pass, and Bouma got the goal. But even in these last couple of games, I'm going to say that about Bouma and Cunha. I don't think our attack has been firing as well as it should have. We just scored 4 away at Wolves. I know that sounds ironic. We did just have 27, 28 shots in that game. But in terms of the players that we signed this summer, I'm looking at Cunha, I'm looking at Bouma. I still want more. And maybe I just got a little bit spoiled by Bouma, of course, being player of the month in October. It's good to see Cobby getting some minutes. Got an extra 9 minutes. Mate, the Wolves fans, man, they are going down. I'm very glad that we're playing them twice within the space of a few weeks. Get them back to Old Trafford, mirror the result, move on. Cobby got some minutes. I don't particularly think this. I don't think you can ever really speak about, especially in like situations like that. You fall one up, like the game's done. You're basically just there to see out the minutes. I actually thought it was a real shame you didn't see Shea Lacey make his debut, by the way. Those are the sorts of occasions and situations that United rarely get into. A 3-goal lead with 5-10 minutes to go. Bring them on. Of course, we've got the Euro sub and the Martinez sub and the Dorgu sub. Martinez understood, by the way, because you want him to get more and more minutes. What was that, 30 minutes? 25, 30 minutes he got? Good. He's building up towards being fit to start a game. But that is a win there that changes nothing, but a win which is just well done. You were professional. I don't mean that in a sarcastic way at all. I don't think that needed to be a game where United at any point needed to let Wolves back into it. But through our own lack of clinical finishing in the first half, we did. However, the job is done. Go home. 3 points. United into 6th place. And it is just mad. We're 1 point off 4th. It really is bonkers this season. And you know what it is? Like when it comes to United being back, and ain't nobody saying after Wolves, and nobody was even suggesting it really after Bournemouth, who are bang out of form, but we'll find out what happens at Old Trafford next week. When it comes to United getting back towards the top, at the same time as us getting better as part of that, it's what's happening around us. And this is why this season is such a damn opportunity. Liverpool having a civil war. City, unfortunately, looking like City normally do around March time and just like winning 5 out of the last 6. Arsenal, at some point that a wobble's coming. At some point it is. And they lost against Villa. They'll probably bounce back from that, but we'll see. Crystal Palace, they're probably not going to be there by the end of the season. Chelsea, again, up and down. Everybody around us is stumbling, maybe not as much as United, but we're 6th. We are 6th in the league. It really does not feel like that in terms of how we're playing this season. Now, take that into the Bournemouth game. Play like you did in the second half, but play in the first half. I was really happy to see United coming out in that second half. We had like 3-4 chances in the first 6 minutes and then got the goal. That's what United should have done. And I'll be honest, in that 8-minute period between the second and third goal, I was getting a little bit nervous, but just a lovely ball from Bruno made the difference. Mount and Bruno, the 2 best performers for United tonight. We scored 4 goals. We got 3 points. Cunha was a little bit too selfish. I think he wanted that goal back at his old club. And Mbeumo, I don't think he was his typical clinical self. The sort of standard that he set himself with his performances in October. None of that really matters. 3 points, job done. Just be professional. That's what I wanted from United. 3-1 was my prediction. I'm happy I'm wrong. I'm taking 4 goals. Take it into the next game. See what happens against Bournemouth. See what happens against an informed Villa. I'm just glad that United avoided the banana skin because it felt like at one point, going into half-time, I'll be honest, I was worried that they were going to do it. They didn't. Credit to them for that second half performance. Move on. Nice.